Billy, that's you? Billy, that's you?
First, I do care about the turtles, and I do not like straws because of that, sure.
I'm a straw. I love a good straw. I love sucking on shit. Not dicks or anything. Nothing
115 10.
Nothing homosexual.
1 3
That
2019.
makes sense.
Okay. That's
right.
gonna be in the opening video. Oh my god, bro. There is no one like you. You are.
But I'm gonna fuck around and make my whole fucking album distorted, and they gonna be like that boy edgy as fuck. Yeah, fuck. TCAP 803.
Coming heavy with the weight and feel. Wonder if the hoes in Jesus' handheld. Give a fuck how a man feel. Whole world at a standstill, stigmatized. Donald Trump they will not criticize. Still question bomber like my nigga lied. White girls boosting so my dick can ride. Out here switching sides. Crossing ship to mind the window cause they living blind. And they soul not showing. I swear my flow how I'm potent. How these hoes got open and you know Pop's joking. If you expect forgiveness, I'm wondering yourself a victim. Hell's free of heaven's prison. These are split decisions. And I think I give the misses, but I give the masses. My whole arm, there are no walls. I ain't kissing asses, the shit, and I don't starve. Don't starve. She ain't bars, the enemy, she won't call her. You didn't see her coming. People are screaming, running, baby like babies. Why they didn't need enough to drive. Horsepower, speed is punching. Smoking weed, I'm blunting. Notice these are stunning. Ain't me like Jesus versus. Eating knowledge, I got key consumption. Super Saiyan, wanna be. I eat a peanut buzzing. Fuck your family, they ugly. You can keep your cousin, most people puzzling. While my time is about an hour and I need 100. I see your ship and see it sunken. Missing me, she keep on cutting. She a keeper, love a hot box, a beamer bucket. My demon, she seen a sucker. She breathe me, need me, so fucking here for long haul. Press hold if God calls.
Hello, Creighton.
Hello. Guess what?
What?
I found out that our mics are getting quieter. Like, for sure.
What do you mean for sure?
I found out from Kristen, who's right here in the corner of my screen.
Okay. I had a weird recollection at the beginning of stream because what I did was I had the mics very loud in our headsets,
Mm-hmm.
and when they were very loud in our headsets, I cut them down, and when your stream came on your laptop, it was loud but got quieter, and it was before you cut it down, before you were even touching it. So in my head, potentially,
It could just be that
they might be hearing what we're hearing, so we might have to just deal with super loudness, which I can do.
How's
Is this better? Anybody
Yes.
who's listening? What?
Because somebody else
Oh,
was
okay.
telling me that was low.
Yeah, everybody in chat was saying it was low yesterday.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, other people were talking about on their recordings, too, it's low.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go ahead and do the weather?
Yeah, is it because you have to pee?
Yes.
I'm just not gonna do the weather.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until 1 hour and then be like, oh, by the way, the weather.
In other news, we had a successful launch today of the other show that's going to be on your YouTube that I'm doing.
Is it gonna be, or is it on there now?
It's on there now. And then
You should
with
promo it. You should
with
promo it
more-
now.
With more
You should
episodes
promo it
coming.
now. It's the first day it's
Yeah.
on there while we're
So
streaming.
it's going to be Creighton Station. On the first episode, it's called Creighton Talks. But
I messaged Creighton. And said, hey, are you still under the mindset that you should name this one thing and then change it the next upload? Or do you want the upload to go ahead and be the name it's going to be? He's like, no, we should call it what I call it in the first one.
Yeah, because I said
so
it in
that
the
it could
recording.
stay in canon by the second episode with the name change.
Yeah.
So it seems like we're
Also,
uploading them in order.
The way you have to upload the next episode is Coda's interview first and then Isaiah's.
Okay.
Because I'm probably going to bring them both to you at the same time.
Okay.
So I need
Just
you
tell
to
me when that happens, because I won't.
need
I
you
can
to
barely remember to upload our normal
I need
podcast.
you to go back and remember. But yes, yeah, it's up on the YouTube now.
Thank you, Flint.
It's called Creighton Talks on that first episode, but it's gonna be Creighton Station from here on out. I've already got 3 other guests lined up for the next couple
Mhm.
episodes, so it's gonna be pretty good. I was gonna do originally like a bunch of episodes and then take a break, but now I feel like just like going from episode to episode, like as soon as I can get interviews, is the way to go. Because like that way I'm consistently producing stuff.
Yeah, if my internet was more reliable, I think that I would have been doing the Discord ones again like in the last like month or so, like since like work has been later for you and it's been harder to get here later.
Yeah.
Like I'd probably have been doing more during the day if I could rely on my internet, but it's just so finicky.
Yeah.
It's like specifically finicky when we're streaming,
Mhm.
because my internet will go out during the day, but only if I'm like watching Twitch and watching YouTube and talking on Discord and blah blah blah. Like
You know,
if
just
I
the
do
normal
more than
things
a
too.
couple things. So like when we're streaming, we have Twitch up, we've got Twitter up, we've usually got Google up. We're also streaming live.
I just realized I forgot to mention Kyle's the first guest in the first episode.
Yes.
Sitting to your left.
There you go.
Yeah.
Directions.
Your left, everybody else is right.
Hey Creighton,
Hey Charlie.
you wanna know the weather?
Sure.
Is it 'cause you wanna pee?
I can hold it. It doesn't matter.
Are you trying to be a man?
No, I'm
Are you trying to prove that
So like at
I don't
work-
need to do the weather?
Well, at work, I have to hold my pee a lot because like I can't always. You know me, I'm having to run the front end, so I can't always just like run off to go pee if I got to. So like I'm used to having to hold it.
Wait, you're telling me you don't just pee your pants?
I
in
should,
front of everybody?
right? Imagine.
You don't just get a catheter every day you work.
or like just piss like.
You know, there's
eh,
people that are like that with like store jobs,
Yeah.
where they're like
I don't have time to do-
especially like Christmas time.
yeah.
I heard a story of this guy who like knew that he'd be at the front of his store for Christmas for like 20 hours straight or some crazy shit, and he just had a catheter,
Mhm.
and it like
No,
it-
catheters are painful for me.
yeah, well they're painful for everybody.
Yeah, I don't.
But his
wanna do that.
catheter filled up, and he had to pee again. So it like became this extra horrible I have to go pee situation, because not only did he have to pee, he had to pee and he had to like take the catheter out before he peed, and the catheter was full.
Why would you tell me that before I have to go pee?
The weather in Allegheny County, New York, I said that right, probably.
Allegheny. Right
Allegheny.
here. Allegheny.
Allegheny. Yes. Was 62 degrees Fahrenheit, partly
Look
cloudy.
at Kristen just in
The
the corner.
precipitation was 5%. The humidity was 79%,
This
and the
right
wind was
there.
4 miles per hour.
No,
Tomorrow.
They can't see Evie.
Tomorrow, the low will be
Sorry.
62 and the high will be 75. With a chance for partly
What's
cloudy
the
weather.
humidity at?
5%.
Damn, that's
No,
low.
79. The
I was about to
precipitation was
say,
5.
what the fuck?
Precipitation was 5.
Where are they for the humidity to be so low?
Fucking the
The
Sahara
Antarctic.
desert.
I'm gonna go pee, and
Yes,
I'm
I
gonna
did
hand
the weather.
my mics and stuff over to Kristen.
Okay.
Here you go. Come here. Nobody can see you.
They can see you. Well, now they can really see you.
Yeah.
They probably. She's right. Oh, well, I pulled my mouse over to OBS and was like, she's right here, but I realized that they can't see that. They will not be able to see the mouse.
I only have one arm.
This will work.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You can hear yourself, right?
No.
No? Not in the headphones?
Yes, on my ears.
You can't hear that? Hello?
I can hear me a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, yeah, it's just
Hello.
because the mic is kind of not far away.
I want everybody to see Evie. Can they see her?
They can see her. You don't have to. You're not like doing any better showing her. It's like we see like all of Kristen right now and Evie.
She's so cute.
She's pretty great.
She's a baby.
Hey bros. Hey True Black King.
Oh my goodness.
Hot. Kristen.
I can't see any of the comments.
At all?
No, because
That is
I'm
devastating.
disconnected from your Wi-Fi.
That checks out. Oh, that checks out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Did he
It's not
put
your
his
fault,
phone?
Charlie.
He put his. This is not Goodwill Hunting. How dare you? Did he put his phone over here? No. Why does that sound? I don't like that. I heard the zzz for like a sec. Can I pop out? But I'm gonna have to do this first. And now pull. Oh. The chat's a little slow right now because of how late we started, but it is here nonetheless.
And Flint went to bed.
Did he go to bed?
Yeah.
I didn't even see him say that. Did he say that? God damn it. Flint went to bed and I didn't see it. I didn't say good night, Flint, but good night, Flint.
Imagine being a bad host.
Wow, that's crazy. He's not a host. I'm the host. How am I a bad host?
You didn't tell Flint good night.
Well, I was making sure the chat was right, so I wasn't able to see it. I have. Yep, that's
Whoa,
annoying.
what's that? There's a note.
What note?
Oh, it's not a note.
What is it?
So, remember how I was trying to start you on the thing?
Oh.
On our talk, it's the living room from Pete.
Picture creating camera. Hey camera, picture creating.
Wait, so what is it?
No one picked up on my funny joke.
That's the Pete house.
Oh, you
That's
drew
where
it?
was in the living room. Yeah,
What?
I found it in my stuff. I was looking for something else and then I found that.
Oh,
I forgot that I did it.
that's cool. So like, you said this is the living room.
The way you're seeing it is like you were sitting on the couch. She's done.
Okay, see, he would come up from your back behind your right. Yeah.
Question: do you feel like people post too much on social media?
You
What
should
do you
save
feel like
that.
people on social media? I want you to post so much about everything you do in your life,
I mean,
even really personal stuff. What do you think? It's a combination of the both, meaning like everything don't need to be shared. I mean, yeah, it definitely depends on. I know people that. I see people that post way too personal
honestly,
of
yeah,
information.
I never post anything.
And then I see other people that never post anything. Like they only post like
Memes.
not just me. Like it's okay if it's just memes. It's okay if you stick to like your shtick. But it's annoying when you like.
Do a bit of both.
No, not a bit of both. It's annoying when you like try and be this thing you're not. Like trying to be a persona of someone that is just totally fake.
Oh, like you're not acting like yourself.
Yeah, and it's one thing if you're a character. Like, you know, like Dr. Disrespect has to do that because he's Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
But, like, when Josh or fucking Kevin, like, whoever, pick a guy, like, if somebody's just, like, blah, 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 like, just saying dumb
Or
shit.
they're saying stuff to make people angry, so that way they can, like, you know. Me and Pat were talking about that today. during the pre-interview. I think we're gonna kind of delve into that in his interview.
It's
Because
a good discussion.
Because I asked him if, like, the kind of like the climate right now with everything that's going on, especially towards like like all the stuff with George Floyd and all that kind of stuff. If the riots and everything like that, or even like just the crime and the injustice that's happening is affecting his music at all, and he gave an interesting like take on it. I don't want to put words in his mouth. You guys will just have to watch the interview to see his take. But like he gave an interesting take on it. So check that out.
I'm in a group on Facebook where we all pretend to be boomers.
My worst fear is like we were talking about this stuff today, and I was like, damn, like I hope like I don't say something on here like talking about what he's talking about and like accidentally like turn him into something that he's not. You know what I mean?
Pat himself, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
because we were talking.
I don't
about
think
that.
anyone would take it seriously because you do that about everyone you're talking about.
Yeah, but and I again like I'm trying to go about these interviews as professionally as possible, and like I really don't want to speak to the people that put words in the mouth of the people that I'm interviewing. So like again, I'm just gonna save it for whenever me and him do our interview. But he did give an interesting take on it, and it made me think about like how there's people out there, kind of like musicians or public figures, that when something like this happens, like say you're like mixed, like you're black and you're Puerto Rican, or you're black and you're Hispanic, or you're black and you're white, like if you're doing something and you're in the public eye, like you're gonna have one group going like, well, you're this, why aren't you doing more for this group?
Yeah.
Or you're this, or you're doing this for this group, why aren't you doing more for this community?
Yeah, when everything went down with George Floyd, I had friends who were very upset at a specific celebrity. Like they were upset at pretty much any celebrity that didn't say anything, but there was a very specific celebrity, and I was like, well, guys, listen, we're not that celebrity.
Yeah.
It's not just because you feel a certain way or just because they might feel a certain way, based on who someone is and based on their success, getting an outright stance on a certain thing like this might not be the smartest thing to do in me, because they were like, this is like day 2 of George Floyd,
when it just happened.
Yeah, and then a week later, like, because a lot of stuff happened, a lot of stuff was happening in the world, and as soon as you endorse one thing, anything that happens because of it in the world makes it seem like you're gonna be for that, like the riots that happened or the looting. Like if you say, I stand with George Floyd, and then all these people go and riot and loot in honor of George Floyd,
they're gonna put
you
in that pile.
They're gonna be pushed into that pile of, well, you support that, huh? And then it just becomes this really negative, toxic roller coaster online that you're gonna have to be sitting in for the next however long, that people are still sitting in to this day. I mean,
and another thing, I feel like people are scared to say one thing or the other because of the backlash.
Not just the backlash. I mean, yes, the backlash, but we don't know everything. Like, it's really, I don't want to say it's ignorant. It can be ignorant to hop onto something right away without knowing what happened.
Exactly.
Because all we saw was the video, You don't know all the things that happened before that video. You don't know anything that happened with those two people because they knew each other, apparently. The guy that killed George Floyd and George Floyd worked and knew each other and were very hateful toward each other. So we don't know what people said ahead of time, what, all these things. Like, and this is all hypothetical in terms of, I'm not trying to put a narrative out. I'm just saying none of us were there. None of these celebrities were there. No one but those two guys were there, Yeah. So, it's people who get mad at a big streamer or a big musician or a movie star for not saying anything or not having an opinion on it. Like, it's just because they want content. They just want to know someone is standing for someone or not. They just want to know whose side to be on instead of, like, just letting people live their lives.
And there's people,
and that's what makes it the most toxic to me in terms of, like, the using a terrible, awful thing for entertainment. And that's how I see it.
There's people too that will take a message like what you're saying, not knowing what it really means or stands for. Like, kind of like what Biden said at the end of that interview is like, vote for me or you ain't black. Or,
Yeah.
that I think like there's people in the world like that are just like, well, you're going to do this because
If you don't like this, then how can you not like
yeah,
that?
exactly.
Or how can you like this?
Like,
if you
how
like
can you
that?
not like what you're saying?
Yeah,
and
no
just-
one. There's no nuance. Everything's black and white. Everything's binary. Like you have to. If you don't like this, you like that. There's no. I don't like both of those.
Yeah.
Like you have to like one thing or not.
just like the election and everything coming up. I don't like either of the options, but I mean, like, it's gonna. I mean, granted, like, you have your independent candidates to vote for, but I mean, like, it's gonna be one of the two,
Yeah.
and it sucks.
It
That's
sucks.
the only two options, and I hate that.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully one day it's not so split down the middle. Like hopefully one day an independent can run or there'll be a third party that everybody also like understands and can be on board with, and it won't be like a race between two people.
Maybe. I mean, we see party ideals and parties in general shift. I mean, look at what elections were looking like 100 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even
I think the
100
dumbest
years
thing
before that.
I think the dumbest thing is like the Democratic National Convention or the Republic National Convention, like making it be between two people by the end. Like, you tell me right now, tell me that if Andrew Yang and Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard, like if there were 8 fucking Democratic nominees right now, Biden wouldn't be in the top 2 if they
I
went
loved
all the way.
Andrew Yang.
I
Andrew
liked Yang.
was
I
really
really
cool.
liked Tulsi Gabbard.
I didn't-
She seemed like the best option to me.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But if either of them ran right now, if any other people that were on the fucking Democratic ticket for the last year of running were on for the main election, I bet you any of them would beat Biden. I bet you he would be in dead last on the Democrat side.
I don't. That's
not
what
just
I don't
overall.
understand. Like, why do they boil it down to just one?
because
or
the
other?
because the DNC needs to be in control. They need to have like one, they need to have pull with whoever's running, and 2, they need to have some kind of oversight into how things are running. That's how it always goes.
Well, I
That's why
mean,
Bernie
you
got
have it
knocked
on
out
the-
both elections.
You have it on the other side too, the GOPD or GOP. I mean, with the way they ran against remember in 2016 they had that whole floor filled of candidates. There was some people on that side that I liked. I didn't like everybody because I lean more Democratic than I do Republican, but I try to stay very much in the middle. But there was people on that side that was like, that would be a great candidate, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, I mean,
and they just got knocked out because it's like,
I don't
well,
like that it's a big group. I don't like that there's this big group
and
trying
that boils
to
down to
that,
just
that are
one.
picking the people.
Yeah,
Like I'd rather people run.
yeah.
People run with ideals, and we like their ideals, and we vote for them.
I feel like that's
But
what
I don't know. I mean,
that's what the way it's intended to be, but it's not.
yeah, that's the way a lot of people think it is who don't look into it,
Yeah,
which is like the worst. Like I know so many people who think like, well, I'm sure that he's gonna do great because he believes in this. It's like you don't know, you don't think he believes in that, do you? You don't believe that he believes in that thing he says he believes in. They have to say all this shit to get nominated, or they have to say all these things, and like every once in a while you have some that seem real about it, but then you have a Biden
yeah.
who is obviously being fucking spoon-fed every word he says. He's reading off of teleprompters and letters the size of like plates.
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, whatever.
I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't
It's
like
kinda-
her. She's scary.
She's
She's-
me too.
She's scary. I don't know.
I feel like Biden's the puppet, she's the hand. You know what I mean? But maybe somebody's working her too.
no.
yeah.
She's not the puppet.
Yeah.
The DNC's the puppet. There's a lot of people that are the puppet masters.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's a scary situation. I don't think it matters. Trump's gonna win.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
But we might be wrong.
Maybe. I mean, we might be. I don't think. I don't only think we're going to be right about him winning. I think it's going to be a landslide. And we'll see. Maybe I am wrong, but
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and my uncle were talking about it this past weekend, and it's the same thing that me and you have talked about before. the whole time this election's been going on, like I look around and all I see is fucking like Trump Pence signs. You know what I mean?
that's because where we live.
Well, I know it's because of where we live, but I mean, like,
But I will say this:
I've only seen one Biden thing the whole time.
I've seen one Biden sign, in remotely like anywhere near here, like for like 50 from here to Columbia and here to Charlotte. I've seen one Biden sign. But and again, we're in South Carolina. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
we're gonna see nearly as many Biden signs. But also, I don't see anything to do with Biden online. Like I don't
Right?
see.
That's what I mean.
I'm on everything for that, but I also don't see nearly as much for Trump as I did last election. Like in terms of
I don't think they
the
like
social media presence,
Yeah.
I feel like they're just not fucking with it. We
Well,
meet again, boys. Hello,
And
Kevin.
I'm gonna tell you this too. I watch like my grandma watches a lot of cable TV, and it's not all just like Fox News or like one side leaning. It's a bunch of different news channels, but you see more Trump advertisements than you do Biden advertisements. And last time,
because of the money.
well, yeah,
Trump
but I mean,
dumps
last
into
time around it seemed
advertising.
more like 50-50. You know what I mean? Like for every
thing-
Trump thing, there was a Hillary thing. They
the
were
thing-
really trying to fight him last time.
The thing that's so blatant to me is the rallies.
Oh yeah,
A Trump rally is a fucking
Blowout.
mega dome, like a fucking coliseum. Like I mean, they've sell out like fucking bowl games for Trump rallies, and then you have Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders at these fucking like city town halls with like 80 people. You know, and Trump will do 3 rallies a week for a year.
People love him.
People love him. I mean, people are saying that like the polls are obviously rigged. Like Trump. There's no way people like Trump. It's like, who the fuck is buying these tickets?
Yeah.
You think everyone there hates him? Like, what are you talking about? Like, there's 60,000 people going to these fucking Trump rallies 3 times a week. Like, not people go to all 3. 3 get sold out in a week. Like this, it's bananas.
They love a bad boy. You know
They
what I
love
mean?
a bad boy.
For
I
real.
think
That's
a lot
what
of
my
people-
dad told me. He
A
was
lot of
like-
people just love him. Period. I think a lot of people just like him.
Mhm.
They like him because he doesn't give a fuck. And I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get the appeal. 'Cause I get that don't give a fuck energy and liking that. And honestly, I definitely like that more than I like Biden. But it's still a scary situation
Yeah.
in terms of like who you have to pick. But I definitely think that that anybody who thinks that it's like super favorable towards Biden,
Yeah.
I have a friend online who I love dearly who thinks that like Biden's gonna steamroll. What?
Can Kristen have a water?
Yes, you just ask for water.
She showed me like on her phone. I was like, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did he caught it?
You did catch it.
But sorry,
but
you had your friend on.
I love this guy dearly. He's one of my favorite people on this whole planet, and he thinks it's gonna be a blowout. He said in his words, he said, "I don't know, man. I think people are tired of the way things are running, and I don't think he stands a chance. I think they want change." I'm like, tired of the things are. What do you mean tired of the way things are running? Do you understand how good the economy was doing? How many jobs we had before coronavirus? Like, not everyone's gonna change their mind just because a fucking pandemic happened.
Yeah.
Like, I think people are putting way too much thought. That's one of the things about this pandemic is it's being so politically charged.
Yeah.
Like the amount
They're-
of stuff
they're
that's
trying
changing
to-
because of it.
They're trying to pin it on him as like he didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah,
And
you think that if they could get away with it, they would say Trump made this in his bathroom and
Yeah.
put it in the water supply. like the way that they're attacking him for it.
And like, while I agree in some respect that he didn't handle it the best way, I don't think anybody was prepared to handle it.
Yeah, I
you know
mean,
what I
no
mean?
one. I mean,
But
listen,
you know,
I don't think no one was prepared.
I mean, I think there were people prepared, but I mean, like, it was such a
I think he definitely
crazy
handled
thing.
it a little ridiculously
yeah.
in the
Oh,
beginning.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look at New Zealand. New Zealand didn't have a case till like a week ago. Like they went like 100 or 200. They went like a ridiculous
What were
amount
they
of time.
doing?
They very strictly quarantined everybody right away. Like no one could go to work, and like nobody could go anywhere for like 3 weeks. No one.
Damn, why didn't we do that?
Well, you're looking at very different populations, very different
Yeah.
GDPs. You're looking at very different economies. You're looking at a lot of different things and different people. We're stubborn.
Yeah.
Americans are very stubborn.
That's what makes us American and proud to be it
Mm-hmm.
with our guns.
We also have Florida. That's a good point, Blake.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, like,
Florida's a wild card.
they're like he fucked up with this, and then like I agree with you. There's some things he could have definitely done better, but I mean, you're not wrong about the economy and stuff. Though,
he
you
did
know
some
what I mean?
things right though. People, the thing that I don't like is the hypocrisy. Look, hate him, like him. I don't care. I mean, I don't give a shit what your opinion is. Don't be a hypocrite. He cut off all travel to China in January because of coronavirus. In January, and they said he's racist for it. And then whenever he fucking wouldn't let people leave, he said, "It's so dumb of you not to let us like block off travel to places like the rest of the places there with the internet." Like, oh my god,
We're back.
that was so no, we're gone.
Yeah. Well, it's got a green light. I told you we're back.
I don't think we're back. It still says offline on this side.
Oh, we're back, Charlie. Get
Can you
used
guys
to
still
it.
hear us in chat? Oh no,
Anyways,
Discord's still down.
you were saying.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's just the hypocrisy. Like, if you look, have a stance, pick a stance. Don't go back and forth on what you say. They were mad at him for closing off travel to China because it makes him sound
Close off travel.
exactly like that he didn't close off travel to other places, or that he didn't close off travel quicker, or that he didn't go into quarantine quicker. It's like, what do you want? Like, how are you gonna send these mixed messages?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets mad about these different things all the time, and it's like, pick a fucking lane.
You know what's crazy to me? Like,
What?
I was watching the news the other day. It's probably been more about like a month or so ago, and it was a press conference, and this Asian reporter had like asked him something, and he said something about like to the effect of "you people," but he was referring to them as like reporters.
Yeah, and then everyone's
yeah,
gonna
she was
attack
like-
him for
She
that.
was like trying to be like, "What do you mean by you people?" He's like, "You know what I mean." Like, and just moved on to the next question,
Yeah,
and like
he
Like-
gets very agitated.
yeah, he was
By
like
the press.
he was not having it. He was just
Yeah.
like, "Shut the fuck up." Like, you
Yeah.
know.
I don't know. I get very. I feel annoyed.
It's just crazy to me. Like they're.
I think he's
they're
just
really
an
trying
old
to, like,
white
get
dude.
him.
I think he's an old white dude, and old white dudes are just like racist, but like in the most innocent way, you know? like they're racist like stereotypically. They're not like, I hate these racist. I feel like they're just like, wait, isn't that how this type of people is? Like, just ignorant racist, you know, like dumb old white guys.
Mhm.
But I feel like for him in that spot specifically, you're dealing with a guy who's lived in and operated in Hollywood forever.
Mhm.
Like, you're not dealing with an old racist white man.
And he knows like a lot of tricks in the book, like you
Yeah.
know, to try like
He knows
to
how to
get-
talk, and he knows how to get people mad,
Yeah,
and that's like, it's genius. I mean, he's a genius. People think he's just dumb, and it's
it
very ignorant
gets
to
me-
assume that he's just an idiot because he's very intelligent.
It gets me because they'll like try to like kind of catch him, like
Mhm.
try to catch
They,
him.
they
with his
try and
pants down.
they try and like turn him in like down
Like,
these lanes of conversation to get him to
He
say
just
something.
won't have it. A great example of that is the guy who does interviews like for the PGA. Like he was interviewing him about golf and stuff like right before he started running. I think we talked about this. David Faraday.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I talked about it.
I think me and you talked about it
Maybe.
at the beach.
Tell the story.
Not on the podcast. Because I was watching it to prepare for me doing my show. And he was talking to him about him making golf courses in Scotland on protected lands. Like trying to kind of not I don't think he was trying to goat him into like saying something where he would fuck himself up, but it was very much like a kind of like a tense situation, and he totally like just jumped the hurdle with no problem. So I mean, it's crazy, like you know the way that he can kind of like maneuver and like.
You're
Pick up
talking
on
about a
what-
businessman.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the art of the deal.
Art of the deal. the art of the deal.
I saw like
I know what I'm talking about.
I didn't realize
I
they
have 40 buildings.
I didn't realize they updated the cover for the art of the deal. Have you ever seen the old cover for it?
No, I've
It's
never
a
seen.
really young picture of Trump.
Is it?
Like his hair.
Just him as like a fucking 30-year-old.
Yeah, his hair isn't even orange yet. It's like
Dude, he was in Home
It's like
Alone.
brown.
He was
Yeah.
in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it's crazy that this guy ended up being the president. Like, just like if this is a simulation, Joe Rogan was talking about. Like, imagine if they told Trump he was the simulation. Like, imagine like the aliens came, and we're like, hey man, listen, okay, we started a simulation 78 years ago, and we wanted to see what somebody would do if they were given $1 million, and pushed it to be a businessman, and we walked them down the right lines to become president and how they'd handle it. And hey man, you're
hey man, I'm Meek. I'm cool. This is
I'm
Meek.
cool.
The aliens have to sound like that. Hey
Yeah.
man, you're a simulation.
Hey man, this is a simulation. You're kind of fucking it up. You messed up. You did the wrong thing. You
Now
know,
we had to release a virus.
you shouldn't have grabbed her by the pussy. That wasn't a good idea. That wasn't a good idea, mate. That was, you messed up. And he's gonna be like, were you raised in New Zealand? And they'll be like, yeah, Taika Waititi's a friend. We like
Dude,
the
if
movie.
anybody's in on the simulation, it's
Taika Waititi, yeah. He makes way too good of movies to not be in on it. He's like, you know what, this simulation sucks. We gotta make something great. That's what I think all like great creators are. I think they all just know. They're all just like, yep, this is a simulation. Might as well make it a good simulation.
like Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have to be. Like
I look at simulation theory the same way I look at like non-simulation theory.
Yeah.
If this is a simulation, or not, let me rephrase. I look at simulation theory the way I look at like religion. Like, if there is religion, cool. If there isn't, cool. If there is simulation, cool. If there isn't, cool. Let's have a good time. That's how I look at it. I feel like
yeah, life is
either
life.
way, the best way to live your life is to be a good person.
Yeah, and you're
Like,
like
I'm not under the mindset of if there's no religion, you should just go around like just being
Yeah.
awful and hurting people, and because nothing matters.
yeah.
Like, you still matter. I mean, you could still
Yeah.
have a good time and be
And
a good
you-
person
you're
and have a
that-
good time being a good person.
the impact you're having on somebody else's life is real.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if it's in a simulation, it's real to them.
It's real in that simulation. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still, at the very least, keep letting the numbers
There-
churn,
have you
baby.
ever
You know what I
seen-
mean? Like, let's keep this.
Have you ever seen The Greatest Showman?
Not yet.
It's amazing.
It's
But
on
there-
Disney Plus now.
There's
I think.
yeah, it is.
I'm so
there's
happy. I
there's
have to watch it.
there's a line in it from this guy where like it's a critic
I hate
talking
you, Blake.
talking to fuck what's his name? Hugh Jackman's character. And he's like
Jack Human, yes.
Yeah. And he's like, does it bother you that everything you're selling is fake? And he's like, Hugh Jackman's character goes, the smiles are real. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the
The
people are
smiles
having,
real. I can hear him saying
yeah,
it.
the people are having a good time, you know? So why does it matter if it's real or not?
But what's fake? What does he mean? Like, is it like
I don't want to spoil
magic?
the movie for you.
Okay,
I mean, so do you know what it's about?
kind of.
It's all about how the circus got started.
Okay, well then, yeah. I mean, what's fake about the circus? Like, do they mean like in terms of?
I mean,
Is
some
it-
of it's
is it
real, but it's
pertaining
like an
to-
exaggerated real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a performance.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like a magic trick. There's
like
no
you think
real-
people are upset that Avengers aren't real? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure yes, but like, are they like
I
not
know
gonna see
you're
the movie?
devastated.
I want Wolverine to be real.
Why? That's awful.
I
you
don't
know,
know.
how tortured he is as a
Yeah.
person?
Because when I was a kid, I would walk around thinking I had Wolverine claws, like
Yeah.
in my imagination.
So
like
what, you want to be
I didn't
Wolverine?
have imaginary friends. I had like imaginary powers. In my head, I could water bend, I could
That's what I
earth
do.
bend, I could bend stuff like an Avatar, and I had Wolverine claws. I'd walk around through every doorway, going like shing, thinking that I was like about to slash the door. Like in my head, I was devastated that I didn't have Wolverine claws and that I couldn't water bend. That was
or
like
a lightsaber.
that was my Nah, lightsabers were always too scary to me.
Why?
Because of how easily, like, I was always thinking, like, what if it's in your backpack and it, like, goes off and just, like, fucking fries a
Right.
hole in your backpack? Or, like, hits you, or, like, you're walking next to somebody, you just cut them in half.
Well,
Like,
obviously,
I always
Charlie-
was worried about stuff like that.
Obviously, Charlie, if you have a lightsaber, you have the Force. And if you're, like, really well trained in the Force, you keep the lightsaber at your side, not in your backpack.
You think in this world, people who didn't have the Force couldn't get a lightsaber?
No, I don't believe that, but, like, I would keep it at my side all the time instead of, like, in my backpack.
Even if it's at your side, what if it goes off and, like, cuts off your foot?
There's settings on it to make it not long like that.
Creighton, you understand what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, I'd be careful with it. I wouldn't
Stop
just,
arguing a hypothetical.
I wouldn't go around like willy nilly, just like hitting this against the wall. It's
Listen,
gonna go off and
I'd
cut my
have
leg off.
control of my Wolverine claws, and I'd have control of my bending.
What about when you get old and like you have trouble getting them claws out?
Yeah, dude, that scene where he's like pulling them out
Yeah.
in Logan is brutal.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it's like
Yeah.
erectile dysfunction but with his claws.
Well, yeah.
Like in terms of how it operates, like it's just like, oh well, sometimes they just don't work.
Imagine it like you go to do it and they just won't come out. Like,
Ugh. And he said that's like one of my favorite lines from the very first X-Men movie is like when Rogue asks, "Does it hurt?" and he says, "Every time."
yeah.
What a line! What a scary line,
Well-
especially when you
well,
see the bones
also,
rip apart.
Like you can like look at it too, as in like it hurts other people too. It doesn't just hurt him.
Yeah.
And he has to live with that.
Like, I'm really curious how they're gonna pull him into the MCU.
And they're right. He's
Like, 'cause-
he's such a dark character. Like
Well, it's not just that he's a dark character. It's like they did a pretty good job of Spider-Man because they gave him one movie to be introduced, and then another movie to build on him as a character.
and then another movie to just do weird shit with him.
Well, no, I mean that was
They
a
made
good,
him Spider Monkey or whatever it is.
The Night Monkey.
The Night
That was a
Monkey.
good movie.
It was
You
a
said
good
that like it
movie.
was weird, like bad. That was weird good.
It's not bad. It's just not what I
I
wanted.
think with it, well, yeah, of course, but like we've got what air quotes people.
Oh, we're back. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think we are,
Or we're gone.
or we're gone. We're either gone or we're back.
Yeah.
Chat, can you still hear us? It doesn't say that we're offline on my side.
It doesn't say we're offline on my side either.
We're probably good then.
Yeah, we're alright.
I don't know what that
We're
was.
not good.
That
but,
scared
you
me.
know.
We've
Yeah.
had the same Spider-Man story told twice in 10 years. Like, they had to do it a little different for it to work. And
Yeah.
I like the direction they're going because they're starting off at young Peter Parker,
yeah.
and
But what happened to Uncle Ben? What happened to his parents?
I don't think it's the same thing. I think that it's not like a revengey.
What if Uncle Ben is in jail? And not
Imagine.
dead.
Could you
And like
imagine?
he ends up being one of the rogues.
Don't say shit like that to me. I don't feel like getting excited. Now I'm excited. I don't know. I feel like it's the kind of thing where he died of like natural causes, and like Tony was his Uncle Ben, or he'll have like another
I
Uncle
don't
Ben.
like that.
Well, not. I don't mean literally Tony. I mean he might have another Uncle Ben character because, for better or
We've had,
worse,
like-
Tom Holland is probably about to be the main character of the MCU.
We've had like 2 Uncle Bens at this point, basically, because you got Ryan Gosling, who was like a faux
Oh,
Uncle Ben.
No,
A
not-
little bit.
no, he was
like,
there for a week. He knew him for a week.
He definitely had that father figure vibe on that one scene where they're sitting on the rooftop talking.
Yeah, but that's not Uncle Ben.
And
Uncle
then,
Ben's
like,
his
he
Uncle Ben.
sacrifices himself.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a good scene though, or the scene in the bar where he totally cons him out of the you know what.
He did that. Look, I knew the whole time he was gonna be the bad guy.
Oh, we all
But-
do. He's Mysterio.
Yes, but I still loved him. There's still a part of me, even in the end, when he's like talking to
Oh,
his
you liked him
people,
as a bad guy?
I loved him as a bad guy. I loved him as a character. I wanted him to still be around
I
as a
think he's
bad
gonna
guy.
Come back.
I think he is too. I don't think, he's
that
dead.
whole like thing was like faked.
I think that whole thing
Yeah.
was faked. I think I'm with you there. I think that. What?
Stage.
No, I forgot. Yeah. I think that he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be bad. I think it's gonna be him and Vulture and
We're gonna get-
Scorpion.
you think we'll get a Sinister Six movie?
I think we're gonna get Sinister Six.
I hope we get Sinister
I don't think the
Six movie.
Sinister Six will be a Avengers level thing,
It
but it might be.
It should be.
It might be the
that could
next
be the
one.
next Avenger level threat. That'd be great.
But I mean,
because if they're going the route you're
Avengers level
saying-
threat is like planet-wide threat, and I feel like so far the Sinister
Well-
Six would be mad at Spider-Man specifically.
Well, think about it like this: if
Like
they're
what are they
going-
gonna do to globally dominate?
if
They
they're-
don't have armies, you know.
well,
Like it has to be grounded.
Think about it like this:
I'm getting very annoyed with that sound.
you're saying that Spider-Man's gonna be the new like main character, right?
Well, not
But-
main
well, you're
character,
thinking,
but
you're
like
thinking it's
the,
going that
the Tony
direction.
Stark
yeah,
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanos had like this specific connection with Tony, even though he had armies and stuff. I don't think the way to go is like have another big ass army for them to fight. I think it should be a more personal thing. You know what I mean? Like go bigger emotionally, not on scale. Because we've seen the biggest that they can go on scale.
They're gonna
so
have to have
far.
Sinister Six people kill people.
Yeah.
Like main Avengers are gonna have to die again.
I think
like-
they could do that.
Like for them to have a non like big giant army level
'Cause
threat, like where it's just a bunch of badass
Yeah.
characters. One, they're gonna have to really reestablish how badass these characters are, because really, of the Sinister Six that we're probably gonna get, for sure it's gonna be Vulture and Mysterio if Mysterio's still alive, and if so, we've got those two pretty well established.
Doc
One,
Ock, probably.
maybe Doc Ock, maybe Green Goblin.
Dude, so Norman Osborn in the comics is fucking like crazy. Like he's like if Tony Stark was evil almost.
Yeah.
So like if we did get that, that would be cool. Like flip on the Avengers thing, and on top of it, you got the level of like Peter Parker going against like basically an evil Tony Stark.
Yeah.
See?
I mean, I'm just worried that they're gonna keep going about this too comic booky
yeah.
in a way where everyone makes it, and-
Oh yeah, I hate
because
that.
like they just don't take people out enough.
Well, you know who he was originally the Iron Patriot. Norman Osborn was like when he was faking going good.
Really?
Yeah, because something happened in the comics to Tony Stark, and like
Isn't Iron Patriot?
Iron Patriot was in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
So that's what Rhodey was for a little bit. So with Tony out of the way and nobody to lead, like the tech globally, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
how advancing technology, Norman Osborn can step in those shoes and eventually become the new Iron Patriot, and then eventually the Green Goblin.
Well, they're doing the Captain America guy and
Yeah, they're doing that. Too.
Falcon
But
and the
that
Winter
would
Soldier.
line up though, kind of with the way they're doing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm optimistic about MCU being on Disney Plus and them having all the shows that connect very directly to the movies, but I'm also worried that it's gonna fuck up how the movies do.
Like as far as like you have to watch the show before
You have
see
to watch the
movie.
show before you see the movies,
Yeah,
which I'm super down for it.
but I know everybody else won't be.
Yeah, not everyone will be down for it, but I feel like, you know what, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
I think they should
I think
handle
they
it
should be
like
ma-
they're
I think they
handling
should be
Star
done.
Wars. Like you don't have to see all the Star Wars shows to like enjoy the movies. You don't have to see all the movies to enjoy the shows. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's parts at the end of at the end of the Mandalorian. You know the scene I'm talking about with the thing at the end, at the very end of the Mandalorian, Charlie. You know the thing I'm talking
I
about.
know the thing you're talking about.
But that was like led up. We saw that in Rebels. We
For
saw that
for
yeah.
diehard fans,
We're
that
like, oh
shit's
my
been
god.
everyone's been waiting
then-
nothing to happen.
and-
For them, they were like, "Ooh, that's weird."
Yeah, they're like, wow, what's that?
Yeah,
Who's that
exact-
guy?
Who's that guy and what's that thing? Like, I don't know. Part
But
of me is
everybody
like,
else is like, oh my god. Like
Part
that
of me is really
Leonardo
excited.
DiCaprio meme?
yeah.
Yeah, where he's like, we had the
He's like-
drinky thing.
Part of me is excited because the MCU is basically all of our favorite fandom ideas. Like, what if they just connected the shows and movies all together the right way? And the MCU is going to do it.
Yeah.
And, like, now, because it's going to happen, we're having the other thoughts. Like, well, now that they're doing it, like, maybe people won't like it. Like, like, how about we just be happy that they're doing it, people? Because that's, like, everyone I'm hearing is, like, except for Emergency Awesome, who's, like, the most optimistic human being I've
Yeah.
ever met in my life. And not met, but, like, just witnessed.
He's never said anything
He's
bad
never negative.
about anything.
He's like, his job is so, he's got to love everything he does. Like,
Yeah.
he's like the biggest nerd ever, and he has to love being
Dude,
the
I
biggest
would
nerd
love
ever.
to like meet him and interview him if he had time.
Yeah, I would love to just be like, dude, what do you,
Like, what's in your brain?
not what's in your brain? Like, you make like 10 videos
What
a
is
week.
your process?
What, like, you watch all of this. You watch everything to do with DC, everything to do with Marvel,
When do you
everything
sleep?
to do with Star Wars, everything to do with Avatar and Legend of Korra and all the books. He reads all the Game of Thrones books, watched all the Game of Thrones show, does updates on the Game of Thrones TV shows. He's read everything to do with all of it. He does all of that. Like, his whole life is being like a diehard super nerd. Like, I have to know. I have to
I
know.
might message him and see like if he would do an interview.
I don't know. He's pretty big now.
He is, but
Maybe.
why not?
I mean, yeah, try.
That's my.
I
Like,
tweet him
what
every
else I'm
once
gonna
in a
start
while.
Doing is like, does he ever respond?
He doesn't respond, but he's liked all my tweets, like,
Oh.
because he never tweets. Like, every very rarely he'll tweet, and I'll respond being like, hey, you should do a video about you instead of all this Marvel stuff, and he'll like the tweet. like so when he hit like 1 million subscribers, or like 2 million or something, he said like, I don't know if I'm gonna do anything big or anything, but thank you guys for the support. And like
He's
everyone,
so pure.
and
I
yeah,
love
and
him.
everyone was like, do a video about who you are.
Yeah.
And like he was just going on like a like spread. Like, you could just see him like all the things.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah, he seems like he's a real person. Like he's like a real happy, just big giant super nerd.
He's just been in somebody's basement all this time, and they're
Well, he
forcing him.
used to. So the reason that he knows all the things he knows about these things beforehand is because he's like very in that world, like in news. Like he used to work with a lot of other people on YouTube, like back in the day, like back in the early YouTube days.
Mm.
Like I think he was a I think he was a journalist for like comics and movies and shit. And that's just where he's taken his YouTube, and he's done it really well. And I just have to. I don't know. I have so many questions because he does it everything's so smooth. Like his
Mhm.
whole channel, everything operates so perfect. You know what I mean?
Do you think it was a team? I mean, we've talked about this before, but like,
There's no way it's just him anymore. Like he gets the content
even
out
in the-
so well, so quickly.
even in the beginning, because he's been doing this for a long time. Like he was doing this 5 years ago.
He was doing this during Avatar or Legend of Korra, like when Legend of Korra came out.
Yeah.
Like that's been like 8 or 9 years now, because Legend of Korra came out in like 2013.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
2012.
He's been doing this for a long time. He doesn't seem to take breaks.
Yeah, no, there's never
been like a
never
lull.
breaks. I think that the only breaks there are like for him doing the work, but he gets them out at the same rate.
Like-
It's like he cues the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Because he says that, like, before Comic-Con last year, he was like, okay, guys, I have some videos ready to upload, and they'll be live. I'm going to go to Comic-Con and,
Just-
go to all the panels and everything, and I'll have a lot of videos for you guys on that whenever that's over.
That dude loves what he does.
He's got to, right? Like, he's got to just, and I mean, I would love what he does. Like, if
It's just so much work to put into it. You know, no, not that I'm complaining. I would love to put in the work to something
Yeah.
like that too.
I mean, that's.
But
Like,
it's
I
just-
bet it's not work to him. It's him talking about all the shit he's a
Yeah.
nerd about. You know what I mean?
Like at the same time, like wondering. Like,
And I'm
when's
saying
the
nerd
last
in the
time you saw
most like
lovable,
positive.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say like dumb nerd. Like he's like the epitome of like what a nerd wants to be and is proud of being a nerd for.
Mhm.
That's what I mean when I keep saying he's a nerd. We have 4,420 views.
What does that mean?
420. It's just 420.
We broke 4,000.
Yeah, we broke 4,000 like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
4,420 views. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Was that you or me?
that was me. But yeah, I mean, like, if we get to a point where we're doing the podcast, twice a day, every day, and that's like what pays the bills,
Well, you know,
that
if
would be the
I-
same to me because I love the podcast.
If I potentially have a change in my schedule due to other events happening, we would be doing them earlier.
Did we already talk about this?
Yes, sort of. Yesterday, you were like, "Oh, that's crazy. I wouldn't want to do that because of like your experience at Learn TV." Yeah. Do you remember?
Oh, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Did you tell Kyle?
Yeah, she was there.
I thought you were asleep though.
That was after the podcast
No, she was asleep.
or before. That wasn't during the podcast.
She was asleep before.
Maybe.
She's like, I got here, remember? I was like, guess what? We don't have to go to the boat, move the boat. And you're like, yeah. And then, like, you, like, rolled over and went back to sleep.
This has got to be a great
So
Great
that's
thing
why
for
I was
people to
wondering,
hear.
Like, how do you know what I'm talking about?
We'll discuss that after the podcast.
Yeah, we do need to discuss this after the podcast 'cause that's creepy if she does know.
Remind me to tell you guys or ask you guys about Matt after.
Matt?
That's it. Like, yeah, it's nothing weird. It's just like remind me.
Is he alright?
Yeah, he's
Is
fine.
he dying?
Yeah, he's dying. He died actually. He already died.
Damn.
Yeah, he got hit by a bus.
Damn. He didn't tell
In
me.
Lancaster.
What the fuck? Matt, leave me out of the loop.
Not telling me he got hit by a bus.
Wait, about what?
Hold on.
Oh,
We'll
sorry,
talk
my
about it
bad.
after.
Yeah.
this is
I
like-
got caught up in what he was saying.
This is
about
like a
Matt.
nothing
You were, like,
conversation.
looking at me.
Everyone's like,
Yes,
"What the
I-
fuck are they talking
yeah.
about?" And it's literally not even a conversation. Like, it's nothing worth
Yeah,
talking about.
we're
It's just
just-
not.
yeah.
It's just like other people's business.
Did you see that we had a fire, like a really bad fire the other day?
Any fire that we assume is bad,
Well, it wasn't that. Yeah, it was bad. Like,
I mean,
Look up.
You know, 2 of the fires in California right now are
No.
the worst fires that have ever
Yes,
been in
I
California.
get that, but there's fires that happen like that in California all the time.
Not like this.
Look,
These are the
look,
worst
I get
two.
it. I get it. That's not my point. This one was like right down the road from us, and it was
Mhm.
crazy. It's crazy. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the exact story because I want to make sure I get it right. Okay.
It's crazy to us. It's crazy for
Okay.
where we're at.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it was a plant in Chester that caught on fire, and have you seen the pictures from it?
I've not.
Let's see here. That's it in the background. And it's crazy.
It looks like a demon's being summoned.
It does, doesn't it? Like it's so. For those of you that can't see, it's a big ass smoke column. That's just like probably what the size.
Charcoal black.
Yeah, that's charcoal black. That's like pretty much the size of a small, or like a big ass warehouse. You know what it kind of reminded me of?
But like tall.
Yeah.
Like a skyscraper tall.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's huge, and it burned from like 7 in the morning to like, I think, is it still burning or?
It took 'em 24 hours to put it out.
Yeah, it took them 24 hours to put it out. So it started after 5 a.m. Monday, and more than 100 firefighters, South Carolina forestry workers, and other first responders worked to control the fire. And let's see here. So what it was, it was Carolina Poly. Somebody had told me it was like a scrap yard beside Carolina Poly, and I guess that was what started the fire. Or? It was a shipping yard. Oh, okay. And let's see. So the what Carolina Poly does is like produce plastic bags, like plastic sheeting. and
Oh,
that
so it
kinda
was just
stuff.
straight up fuel.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see. Manufacturing film. So it's one of the largest polyethylene film manufacturers in the U.S. and it's it caught on fire, and apparently when they first built it, it was like $100 million investment in a 500 square foot facility, and it's
500 square feet?
Yeah.
What?
But this is like when they built it in 2015. I don't know if
Oh.
it's been added on.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way that fire was that big in a 500 square foot. 500 square feet is nothing.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't
Like
know
this
if they built
room-
onto it since then. It's
Yeah.
less than a small apartment.
Yeah,
but
like this room is bigger than 500 square feet, I
500
think.
Square foot. Maybe that's a typo.
Mm-hmm.
And she was sending me videos of it like all that morning. And they just made them sit in the parking lot for hours before they sent them home.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, maybe they were hopeful that it would be put out and they could go back to work.
It was getting bigger.
Yeah.
Like every video that she sent me, it was just
It was getting bigger and bigger.
I would have just left.
Well, that was just pretty much raw materials catching on fire, wasn't it? Or was it the actual?
It's like that
machines and
explosion.
No, that's what it made me think of when I
Yeah,
saw
the
it. It's like,
explosion of
damn.
Beirut.
Well, I
Yeah.
asked her, I was like, what if it explodes? And she says, well, there is a building that has like printer ink and propane tanks, but I haven't reached it yet.
What the fuck? They let him sit there next to like,
I just sit here.
sit there next to like a building with printer ink and propane tanks in it, next to a big ass
They
fire.
bought them pizza.
Oh wow.
The
That-
area.
That's what all big companies do. If there's like a big like crazy thing that happens, they just buy everybody pizza. Like you know.
The area could accommodate 27 beds, each of size 1 meter by 2 meters, or 22 beds, each the size of 3 by 6 meters. The area could accommodate almost 31 dining tables, each of what? Chris, what the fuck are you? What? 500.
I'm gonna look at.
I wonder
it.
what happens when
A
Ninja
different
gets
article.
horny. Blake, why do you say things? Why can't you
It
just
doesn't
not
say
say
when
things?
it finally got put out.
That's what would fit in 500 square feet. Thank you, Chris.
Look at this comment. So this comment is, or this quote is, the odor is a primary indication that individuals need to move away from the vicinity of the fire.
I mean, yeah, if a fire smells bad,
to this DHEC director.
yeah, I mean, if the fire smells bad, it's not a good fire
And
to
they
stand
made them
around.
sit in the parking lot of the place.
So they were just having a field day.
I just came in and Googled that. I'm leaving now. Goodbye, Chris. Have a good night.
Let's see. According to standard When did they put it out? Okay, so as of 2 p.m., it had not impacted the building. So it looks like it was just like what she was saying. There's what'd you call it? Their yard? What yard?
It was like their shipping yard.
Their shipping yard.
And then she went back to work the next day.
Oh, so like it didn't mess up her area of the workplace?
Disgust with it.
I feel like it's probably not safe to be over there right now.
Right.
Like just because
all
of
the gas and
the air
stuff in it?
quality.
Yeah.
Not gas, but the air quality.
Well, it's already really bad there. Like they have air conditioning, but you can't feel it.
Yeah. See, we need better regulated buildings to work in with factories. I don't know. It's scary. It's a scary situation anyway. It's a big
Yeah.
giant fire. But like the fact that they're going back to work the next day, like bro.
So they're saying there's no
Someone needs to
signs.
sue.
I'm looking at a report from Channel 9 News that was from 16 hours ago. They're saying there's no signs of air, water, air or water
Oh,
contamination as
shut
the
the
fire burned.
fuck up with that noise. None, no, nothing.
That's well. Let me read.
That
let me
giant
read the rest of the
Fucking
article.
demonic, satanic fire.
Okay. Air and water tests show no signs of contamination, according to officials a day after the massive fire erupted at a plastics company in Chester County. Sources told our South Carolina Bureau reporter Greg Suskin that the fire started Monday morning in the scrapyard around several large storage areas at Carolina Poly along Highway 9. Yeah.
Look up that fire that they had in Texas like a couple weeks ago.
That's what people were referencing on here.
I mean, I guess that I'm not a professional at
Official.
testing air quality, but
like it just looks like there was so much. Well,
I've-
it could have drifted.
my fucking house, when my house burnt down, it smelled awful for like 3 days, and people weren't allowed near it.
So
In my house, it was my house. You know what I mean?
So-
Like that's not a fucking
The mask will keep them safe.
the
right,
mask will keep 'em
right.
safe.
The mask will keep them safe.
So they're saying by 5 p.m. Monday, the fire wasn't out, but they had it contained. Like it was still burning. It doesn't say when it went out.
See, I just don't
People were
know
still on
about
the
that.
scene. Damn, 50 people were still on the scene working. Working to get the hot spots out. My bad. I thought you said people. I read.
Like you
50
thought
I
you saw 50 people working, and were like,
Yeah,
they just
I'm
let
like,
them work through
Yeah.
that.
They like. I could see a corporation doing that. Don't act like that's crazy.
I could definitely see that.
Advise stay away. So they're saying stay away from the area because smoke generated by the fire. But both DHEC and EPA said that the tests have shown no contamination.
Yeah.
But South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control has advised otherwise. So you got one department agreeing with two other ones. Disagreeing, I mean, with two other ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see.
Get your phone. Get your phone away.
It's Kristen's phone.
Okay.
Um,
I heard that sound and like, dude, that sound is. I have so much PTSD over that sound now. That sound fucks me up. I get
okay,
so mad.
so officials said the chemical content of the smoke is different in an industrial fire compared to a wood fire. It's made up of particles, and no matter what is burning, it is unhealthy to breathe. Yeah, no shit.
With that said,
What?
I think now is a good time to wrap. I know it's a little early in terms of how long we've been recording, but the internet's gone out 3 times in 1 hour.
And we did start late.
And we did start very late. So,
We've been live for about an hour. Man, it feels like we've been live long.
right? Doesn't like at 30 minutes, I was like, dang, this podcast is gonna fly by. And then for the last 30 minutes, it's just been. I think because the internet, when the internet goes out, my head gets so like caught in the space of like I wish this would fucking get back. I want to see Chad. I want to talk to people. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. And it just
Well, I
pisses
mean, you're
me
having
off.
fun talking to me, so. You know.
Yeah, I feel so disconnected. It's like cutting off.
Yeah.
It's like you and me are at a party
Yeah.
talking with all our friends, and then all of a sudden,
The people just disappear.
like someone shuts the door,
Yeah.
and like they're all on the other side, and it's a soundproof door, and it's like fuck.
Well, you know, that happens at parties sometimes. But the show must go on. And, like, you know, break a leg and all that
I
shit.
don't think that happens at parties as much as you think it does.
Break a leg. Depends on who you're with at the party and where you guys are going.
When do you get off work tomorrow?
11.
Okay.
But remember, I'm going to Spartanburg potentially tomorrow.
Oh yeah. So potentially no podcast tomorrow night.
Potentially, Yeah.
So might not see us till Thursday.
Yeah. No, you'll still see us Thursday.
Okay, then there you go. Oh, I meant might not, as in we might not do a podcast tomorrow. We might still do one tomorrow.
I mean, we could do one early.
Scared.
Do you want to do one early?
Maybe. Text me.
Okay.
Text me and we'll find out.
'Kay.
Anyway, we love you guys, and we will catch you later. Sorry for all the internet issues. I cannot wait until they're gone, but our local internet sucks donkey dick. So
Ooh, Charlie.
what?
Ooh, you. What's the OW? Ooh, Charlie.
Ooh,
Ooh, Charlie.
like pure perfection. Oh my God, Blake. I love you guys. Have a good donkey dick. I said donkey dick, Blake. Donkey wiggle. Their internet is straight up donkey wiggle. I hate you. Okay, guys. Have a good night, and we will catch you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.